Hi everyone, I'm here to give a brief overview of Google Earth. Google Earth has been around for a while, but it has some new features and some aspects of it that could be useful in your classroom. Once you open up Google Earth, just by searching google.com Earth, and you launch it, there are a couple of different tools we want to highlight. So the first thing is you can now do projects with Google Earth that will save to the student's drive. So you could just select a new project, create it in Google Drive, and then the students can name it as they want. And then they can start to search for areas. So if we want to search for Singapore on Google Earth, and once it finds its way there, they can just click Add to Project. They can add it to the example, click Save, and then this pops up as their first one. Students can then edit the feature, which would allow them to add in their own title, add in information, add in an image if they want. They can add in an info box, big or small, or they can have different place mark settings. So if you want your students to show you the different battles of World War I and World War II, show you where all of the mangrove forests are, or show you where different food comes from in Singapore, they could use this as an interactive way to kind of locate all of that. So as an example, I did a quick presentation on how I got myself to Singapore. If I was to come in, and I've gone through a couple different places, and I click present, it'll show my first one. So I was in Halifax, working for an RCR hospitality group, serving food for different banquets, and I was like, enough of this, I'm going to go do something else, and decided to be a teacher. After that, my second one takes me to the Boar Alaskan building, which is in Thunder Bay, Ontario, and this is where I became a teacher and where I learned about it. And as you keep clicking through, it will take you to the different locations. So students can use this function, perhaps with the screen recording, to talk over to show the different places. And each time it comes up, they will get a basic information. This is where I did one of my teaching practicums in Oakville. And then from Canada, or from a home base like many of us, I jumped overseas and ended up in China. So as students are able to click their way through on a presentation, they'll be able to show different aspects. After China, I moved to Spain in a little town called Girona, and my favorite thing about it was several scenes of Game of Thrones was filmed there. And I eventually made my way here to Singapore at what is now XCL World Academy. If I wanted to try and use it for mapping, I could try and figure out how far is Ishan from school. I would click on the MRT, and then I want to know, okay, where is school? Just zoom out a bit so I can see both. And so I could just use this measure distance and area, where I would draw a line from here, starting point, and down to where the school is. It would then give me distance, and if I close my shape, it's going to give me the area of it. So this could be really interesting to try and pull real-life examples of how to use measuring perimeter or area into real life to think about planning or aspects of it. So that's just one aspect of it. There are some just different quizzes on here that take you kind of all around the world. I was doing one on animal sounds, which was quite fun. And it can be a fun little activity for students as a warm-up or as a closer. And as you go through, you can look through all the different resources they have on here on layers, street view, culture. So if you want to work on descriptive writing, perhaps you could have students do a walk around Japan or different hikes and then try and describe what they see. Within the education, they've built in some math aspects of it, whether to look at geometry, triangular structures, or other aspects related to things that might be of interest to you. There are also guided tours, so if we wanted to do a tour through the botanical gardens, it's going to take us through each part of it. So there's lots of little tours you could do. There's a lot more in here that you can use, but this is just a brief overview